Hey guys, today I have a 20-minute HIIT workout for you using a stepper or a longer step bench. Either of them works. So I just got one of these that I ordered off good old Amazon. Typically they come with 1 to 4 risers. 4 risers is going to make it the highest. That is going to make it the hardest. If you want it to be a little easier or a little less impact on your knees, then just use fewer risers down to even just 1. For this workout, we have 5 exercises, and we are going to go through them 4 times. And we're going to use an interval structure of 45 seconds of work and 15 seconds of rest. I'm going to give you a preview of the exercises before we get going, and I'll also show you how to modify them. Know that in addition to the modifications I show you, like I mentioned, you could also just have a lower bench. As with all workouts, make sure you're properly warmed up beforehand and always listen to your body, modifying or stopping as needed. I have a 5-minute warm-up on my channel that you could use, or you could do your own. Also make sure to cool down after this. Take some time to stretch afterwards. Your body will thank you. If you're new to my channel, I don't play music in the background because I want you to be able to put on your own playlist of music and listen to whatever you want. So if you don't have a playlist queued up, I would get that going. And if you're all set, let's get to it. Okay, so the first exercise is going to be those squat jacks. Start with your feet wide on the floor to the outsides of the stepper and a little behind the stepper. That's going to get you in the best position to start. So this is basically a narrow squat on top with your feet close together and then a wider squat at the bottom on the floor. I want you to think of soft landing. So notice I'm landing and sinking right back down in that squat. There's never really a time where my legs are completely straight. The knees are always bent. Now, goes without saying, 45 seconds, a long time to be doing a couple of the exercises in this workout. You'll notice several times throughout the 20 minutes, I pause in the middle of the 45-second work interval, and you can absolutely do the same if you need to take a breath. Okay, 15 seconds of rest, and then we're going to go into the push-ups, and we're going to isolate the same side the whole 45 seconds. We'll be alternating each set. So start in a plank with one hand on the stepper and the other hand on the floor. From there, you're going to do a push-up, and then the outside foot steps to the outside of that hand, kick the other leg through, kind of like a break dance. So you're bringing your bum to just hover on the floor. If you need to modify, remember, you can always do that push-up from your knees. If the step and the kick through isn't working for you, just do a modified kneeling push-up for me, okay? Now, I love this move because, yes, you're working the chest when you do the push-up, but you're also working the triceps, the back of the arm that is on the stepper. So when you do that kick through, it's almost like you're doing a tricep dip on that hand as you support yourself on that side.
And we got 15 seconds of rest. We are going to do stepper jump burpees up next. There's no push-up in these burpees. We'll be landing with both feet on the stepper and then just jumping back into a plank. I like to start with my feet on the stepper. That way I'm kind of in position when I go the other direction. Now, when you land on the stepper, try to land with your whole foot on it. You'll notice I'm not getting it quite every single time. Sometimes those heels are hanging off, but you're going to have the most sturdy landing if you get that whole foot on there. Now, this is another one, 45 seconds. That is a long time to be doing this exercise. Do as much of the 45 seconds as you can, okay? If you need to pause, take a breath, then get right back in it. If form is starting to slip, slow it down, okay? It's better to slow it down and get fewer reps in and to keep proper form. Shake it out. You have 15 seconds to catch your breath. We're going to come down to the floor next for up and over V-up crunches. So to do this, you're going to have your hands on the floor kind of behind your hips to the outside, and our legs are going to be straight. You're going to kind of dip the heels down to the floor on one side of the stepper, and then you're going to crunch up, bringing them up and over the stepper. Heels hover over to the other side of the floor. If this is too much, just bend those knees for me, or don't do this over the stepper, okay? Just keep your feet to one side of it and just do a regular V-up in centered. Ooh, I gotta pause and adjust here. If you have tight hip flexors, I know this one can be a lot. If you're feeling it way intensely in the hips, try bending those knees a little bit for me. Okay, we are in our recovery. Next up and last exercise of the circuit is going to be a knee up with a 180-degree jump squat. There we go. So start with one foot on the stepper, and the foot that is on the floor is going to drive up, and then jump flipping midair, land with the other foot on that stepper. So you want to stay low as you do these. Similar to that first exercise we did, notice that my knees are never locking out straight. As you land, think soft landing, so sinking down low in that squat, and try to land with weight in your heels. And rest. Okay, our first time through the circuit is done. 3 more times through to go. We're going to start back at the top with those squat jacks. So again, kind of position your feet wide and a little to the back of the stepper. And then from that wide low squat, you're going to hop both feet onto the stepper, landing low. Now remember, if you need to modify these, I want you to hop down from the stepper, but then just step up one foot at a time and alternate which foot you lead with when you do that step. Remember, as we do this, we're thinking light landing. Light, it probably seems like a weird word to use because I know this is a big jump, but just keep your knees soft. And when you're sinking down in that squat, weight is in your heels, butt and hips glide back. Your ribs are knitting together, your spine is staying long, you're hinging forward with the torso, keeping a long spine. Shake it out, some much well-deserved rest. We got those push-ups coming up next. Switch which hand is on the stepper from the first round, okay? Same move, other side. Start in a plank, one hand on the stepper, one hand on the floor. You're going to do that uneven push-up, and then the hand or the foot on the outside steps to the outside of that hand. Kick the other foot through like a break dancer kick through. So when you do that kick through, you should feel the arm that is on the stepper really work. You're going to hit the back of the arm, the triceps. I'm going to modify down on my knees because I'm noticing that form start to go. Again, it's always better to keep proper form than to try to stay in the harder version and get sloppy. and rest. We got those burpees coming up next with a jump onto the stepper. And again, I like to start standing on the stepper and then jump back from there. I find that that keeps me in the best position. So it's a hop back, hands to the floor, jump to plank, feet back up to your hands, and then hop, landing in a low squat position, both feet on the stepper. Now, if you need to modify, bring your hands to the stepper and you're just gonna do a regular burpee, jumping up into the air instead of onto that stepper. Shaking it out real quick. Again, 45 seconds is going to be a long time for these, for those squat jumps, and for that last exercise, that 180 squat jump. Well, and for all the exercises. I shouldn't leave out the push-ups and those V-ups. Those are tough too. And rest. Those up and over V-ups are coming up next, so make your way down to the floor. Now, before you get into these, I want you to roll your shoulder blades back for me. Chest is nice and broad, spine is long. Picture buttoning your bottom two ribs together, core is nice and active, and those heels are going towards the floor to one side of the stepper, up and over to the floor on the other side. As your legs lift up and down, your chest is crunching up to meet it, so you're kind of folding your body into a V shape at the top. Woo, these are tough. Shaking it out. If the stepper is too high to get your feet over it, again, don't worry about going up and over the stepper, all right? Just position your body to one side of it and just give me regular V-up crunches, not worrying about getting your feet over that big block. "15 seconds of recovery." So we have those 180 jump squats with the knee up coming up next. Last exercise of the circuit. And then after this interval, we'll officially be halfway through. Remember, think soft landing. So when you push off and are doing the 180 spin, you're pushing off the balls of your feet. But when you're in your low squat position, I want you to think weight in your heels. The knees are not jutting out farther than the toes. So think button hips down and back, low abs in tight. I know I've said this before, but these form reminders are really important because those little intricacies are the first things to go as soon as we start to tire. Shake it out. Okay, we're at the halfway point. If you need more than 15 seconds of rest, hit pause on this video, okay? Try not to take more than 60 to 90 seconds though. If you're going strong through it, we are back to those squat jacks, up onto the stepper, and then feet to the floor, landing nice and wide. I try to find a rhythm, and as I start to tire, I put a number in my mind. How many reps in a row am I going to do before I take a little pause? Maybe it's 5 reps for you. Maybe it's 10 reps for you. Hold yourself accountable to that number, and if you do have to take the little pause, it's a quick catch of the breath, and then you are right back in it. Under 10 seconds to go. Oh man, I'm struggling. And rest. Okay, so we are going to those push-ups with the kick-throughs. Original side you started on. So whatever hand was on that stepper the first round we did these, we are back to that side. Start in your plank. 1 push-up, step that foot up. Kick that other foot through, bringing your bum just to kind of hover over the floor. Maybe your butt cheek even lightly taps the ground. Really shifting weight into the arm that is on the stepper so that we work those triceps. This is the last time you'll have to do this exercise on this side. If you need to modify, knees down for the push-up. If you need to eliminate the step and kick through, just give me the uneven push-ups. When you do the push-up, I want you to make sure your legs are staying active. So when you're in that plank, I want you to think of squeezing your quads as if you're trying to lift them off the kneecaps. And rest. Burpees coming up next. When you land on that stepper, land low. Ooh, I don't know about you guys, but I am tired. These long intervals are killing me here. Remember that modification option. Hands can come to the stepper. You would jump your feet back into an incline plank. You jump your feet up to the floor, and then you would just hop up overhead instead of onto that stepper. That is a great option to take if you find you can no longer string together more than 1 or 2 reps in a row. Take the modification. All right, make your way down to the floor. We have those up and over V-ups. Roll those shoulders down your back. Chest is proud. There we go. And we're keeping our hands pretty light. I really want your core to have to do the work to lift you. I don't want you pushing off the ground too much. So maybe you just tent your fingertips instead of pressing the whole palm into the floor. My friends with tight hip flexors, add a little bend to the knees for me. And rest. One more exercise left in this third set. Going to do those knee drivers to the 180 squat jump. If you need to modify these instead of the 180 squat jump, you just do an up and over hop. So if you're looking at me, you'd be facing the same direction the whole time. Instead of spinning to the back, you would just hop so that the other foot is then on the stepper for that knee drive. Think low landings. Absorb the shock of that landing by bending the knees, sliding the hips down and back. Now, what's going on with your core? It should be active. So instead of kind of splaying out and puffing out through the rib cage, I want you to think of knitting the ribs together. Low abs draw up and in. Spine is long, even though we're hinging forward. Rest. Okay, we have just one more set to go. Final 5 minutes of this workout. Final time through these exercises, back at the top with those squat jacks. So feet wide on the floor, a little wider than hips width apart, and you're going to hop them narrow up onto that stepper, landing softly. So you're staying low the whole time, as I mentioned. Notice my legs are never straight unless I'm taking a break, which has happened several times throughout this workout. 45 seconds is a long time. Under 15 seconds to go. See if you can go right through to the end, last little push, and then you do not have to do this exercise again. And rest. Okay, 1 down, 4 to go. 4 minutes of work left in this workout. You guys got this. We're going to do those push-ups. Remember, we're alternating, so whichever hand on the stepper you did not just do. Find that plank, 1 uneven push-up, outside foot to the outside of that hand, kick the other foot through. So hitting chest, hitting triceps, working core on this one. Legs are active as we do that kick through. Love this exercise because it is truly a full body movement. You have under 10 seconds and then you do not have to do this exercise again. Try to stay with it right to the end, right till you hear those beeps. Oh, I'm struggling. And rest. Okay, we got those stepper jump burpees. Give yourself a number right here. How many reps in a row are you going to do before you pause? 5, maybe 10. Set that number and let's go. You're over halfway through this interval. You got it. Last time you got to do these burpees. Let's go. Remember, soft landing at the top, as soft as you can. I know it's tough. We're getting tired. Give me at least one more rep. And rest. Okay, make your way down to the floor. We have those V-ups one more time. Up and over that stepper, or just regular V-ups if that stepper's a little too high and it is not happening today. Chest is open, spine is long. When you lift up, you're thinking about bringing your chest and your thighs in towards each other. Now, let's check in on what's happening with our neck. Lift your chin off your chest a little bit, okay? So you should be able to fit a fist between your chin and chest. Just going to keep the airway open. It's going to keep the neck long. Remember, your neck is part of your spine. So you don't want to close that airway. You also don't want to arch and look too up towards the ceiling. Last few seconds, try to get in a couple more reps. You got this. And rest. Okay, you have made it to your final minute. This is it. We have those knee drivers with the 180 squat jump. If that 180 squat jump isn't happening, you're just going to do an up and over like I demoed at the start of this video. Let's go. 45 seconds, and then you are done with this workout. So I want you to be active as much of these 45 seconds as you possibly can. That means as few pauses, as few breaks as you can. So do as I say, not as I do, clearly. I'm fried. I don't know about you guys. Under 15 seconds to go. This is it. Come on. And done.
Hope you enjoyed that workout. If you did, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. I will see you guys here next week.